Hi y'all, it's Susie. Welcome back to my craft room. Okay, today is a special day for me because we are going to be doing a project every Friday, and they're going to be a journal with me kind of project. And so this month we are going to be making a gratitude journal to actually use next month. So I'm gonna kind of tell y'all a little bit about why you should do a gratitude journal, kind of some different ideas of things that you can use to make or use a pre-made journal to use as a gratitude journal, and then we'll talk about kind of how to use it. So um, I think that you will enjoy this little series that we're going to do. But this week, I kind of want to talk about why and why we're going to do it, and kind of give you some ideas about how to pick what you want to use for a gratitude journal. And I will say to start with that I'm going to make mine, and based on some things that I'm going to be telling you about, will determine the size that I want mine. And because I plan to use it for the month of November, that is my goal for this. So you can make yours however big or however small that you're going to need it for your purposes. So first of all, I want to talk a little bit about why we want to make a gratitude or a Thanksgiving journal. With November being the month of Thanksgiving, where we kind of think about being thankful for everything. In the U.S. we have Thanksgiving because of our history here. So across the pond, I'm not sure what y'all have in your countries, for the same thing, or if you have something for the same. But it's a time to give thanks for the bounty, for the harvest, for the plenty that we have. And so I kind of wanted to take November to say, here is what we are thankful for. So one of the reasons that we want to do a gratitude or Thanksgiving journal is it improves our physical and our emotional health. Um, our brains are on a default mode, and we tend to lean towards negative thinking as a way of survival, because way back when our ancestors had to hunt for their food, fish for their food, grow their food, things like that. And so they are always having to look for problems that might come up. Um, how to overcome any hunting issues or fishing issues or growing their crops issues, things like that. So it was always about a survival mode. Well, we're not in that kind of survival mode. And we don't have to always watch for problems and obstacles and dangers to keep us safe and protected. Um, we're not always in a constant state of danger where, we're in fear for the animals out in the wild attacking us, or, having a roof over our head, to keep us safe from the elements and from, nature itself. So our brains look for problems that really aren't even there. So it's our job to help our brains to reset and to relax and consciously and intentionally look for the good. So that practice becomes more habitual than allowing our minds to default to the negative mode. Whatever you enter in to your mind is what it goes looking for. So if you enter in the mind something that you're worried about, or if there's a problem, you're looking for the negative. Your mind is looking for ways to prove that that's true for you throughout the whole day. But the opposite is also true. If you intentionally or purposefully look for the good, or look towards solutions, look for the upside of situations, then your mind is looking for ways to prove that that is true for you throughout the whole day. So whatever direction you want your day to be, you can either feed the positive or the negative. So I remember way back when computers, first came out and we were starting to learn them, and I had a job where I had to go to like a computer class, and back then it was, you put junk in and you get junk out. Well, that's the way our brains are. So if we put junk in, we're going to get junk out. If we put negativity in, we're going to get negativity out. And that's the same with positivity. If we put positivity in, then we're going to get positivity back. And so I think we have to be real careful, and we aren't. You know, we just kind of go through life, and you know, it's just normal for us to assume there's going to be problems or look for problems, and we're actually kind of creating them for ourselves. So what we want to do is create a habit to train our mind on where to focus, on the positives, because being positive makes you happier, and you have a more relaxed feeling, and you know, you feel better about life in general. It just changes the quality of your life, and when you're happy, you're healthier. So that's really, you know, a lot of the good reasons why to do that is just to help us. So what what supplies do you need to have a gratitude journal? You can use anything, literally anything. Um, let's look at this. This is like a pre-made, you know, kind of like a travel type notebook. You know, it's just got some like ledger lines kind of things in it. You can use something like this. You can, you know, use all the pages. You can, you know, cut some of, or yeah, you probably don't want to tear them, but you want to take some of these pages out. Now this booklet would actually come out, and so if you wanted to, you know, you could, you know, cut these strings and take these out, and you know, maybe remove half of the pages or something, and then sew it back in, then put your little booklet back in here, and that would give you room to add pictures, or you know, just anything that you wanted to add to it, so that it didn't get so bulky. Because if you left all of these, that's a lot of pages in here. If you left all of these and then started pasting stuff in here, it's going to get really, really thick, and before you know it, it'll be this big and it won't shut at all. So, you know, you would want to take part of the pages out of that. This is one that I picked up at Dollar Tree a long time ago, and it was 2 or 3 for $1. They were bundled in a pack, and this is stapled in. Now, I would, for my purposes, I would take these staples out. I would take about half of these pages out and then sew this back in. I might even take more than half, sew it back in, and then I would have a ready-made journal. I could cover the front, front and back if I wanted to, if I didn't like, you know, the covers. I could cover the insides if I wanted to with, you know, decorative paper, or, you know, draw on them or put a picture or whatever. I could gesso the pages if I didn't want the lines on them, which, you know, I kind of like the lines for the purpose of journaling. And then, you know, if I pasted pictures or made pockets or whatever, I would still have some journaling lines to go by. So this is a good alternative too. Now, this is a book, a little children's book that, like, I picked up at Dollar Tree a long time ago. And you could actually take and open this book up and take the insides out. And this one happens to be sewn in, so I could cut this out right here and take these pages out. And then open up the cover and cut this cover right here along this line and along this line to make a new journal cover. Or if I didn't want it very thick, I could leave this, just cut these pages out and then sew through this. But this is going to be pretty hard to sew through. That's pretty thick, but I mean, you can do it. Just, you'll have to use your awl and make some holes in that to be able to sew through it. And you could use these same pages to put back in here, you know, and then add some journaling space, you know, with some pieces of paper, or put pockets, or however you want to do it. So this is a great alternative as well. You could use a composition book. You know, most of the time you'll see these in the black, and it'll say composition book or something on there, and it's got a like a label space where you can write in it, and you can cover that. You just measure whatever decorative paper you had to fit this, you know, because you want it just to go to this line right here to cover your cover up front. And of course you could round your corners off if you have a corner rounder, or you could just take your scissors and snip around it. And of course I would cover this because I wouldn't need a class schedule here, and I would just cover that with a pretty piece of decorative paper, or, you know, maybe gesso or paint over it. You know, or if you like that, you can leave it there and, you know, place a pocket down here or something. I mean, it would be great. And the same on the back. I wouldn't necessarily want the multiplication table and conversion tables and things like that. So I would probably paint or gesso that myself. And this is also sewn in, and you can absolutely cut these threads and take all these pages out. And I would probably take about, you know, half or 3/4 at least of these pages out, and then I would sew them back in, And now by sewing them in, though, you're going to go through this, and you will see the sewing on the outside, which is not a problem. Or you could take a piece of lace or washi tape or something and cover up, where you sewed. So this is a great alternative too. And, all this is, well, these two so far, or three, are like from Dollar Tree. And this was, more than one for $1. This was 2 or 3. I can't remember how many was in the pack for $1. But these were all dollar items. Okay, and this is just a cover that I made out of some scrapbook paper. Looks like I got a piece of something stuck on here. Got some extra glue. And I just glued some thicker scrapbook paper together and made a cover. And so now it is ready to have pages sewn into it. So then I could take and, measure this, figure out, how big my pages were, double that size, obviously, because you're going to be folding your papers in half. Put my papers in there and sew them in, and then I would have a nice journal cover. And, if I didn't like this showing, and I'm not sure, I think I was going to at first make this a pocket and decided against it, and that's why that extra strip is on there. But I could cover that if I didn't like it. So, I mean, it really doesn't matter. Or I could just put another pocket on top of it, but something might get hung up in there. So I'd probably, put a cover over that back side. But you can, make your own, which is no problem. Or you can even use, regular copy paper and maybe glue a couple of sheets together or some book page and glue some pages together to, make it a little more sturdy to use as a cover. And then you've got a homemade cover for your journal. And this is just an old book, and I've already taken most of the pages out of this book. And I would end up, go ahead and finish taking this apart. I like the color of this, so I would save these. I like these pages on here. So I would cut that just as carefully as I could, get all this stuff out of there, and then, add my pages and sew them in, and then I would have a book. Or I probably would just cut the spine off because it's had it. So I would probably just go ahead and take that spine right on off of there and then make a new one, with some fabric and, maybe some chipboard in there to give it some sturdiness in the spine. And then I would just sew my signatures in. So you can alter anything that you want to make your journal. Now, how you determine what kind of journal you want or what size to make it, you need to take into consideration, what are you going to do with it? I wanted to see if I could find my little list. Okay, let's see. Whatever you choose, whichever method you choose, and this is why I said I'll tell you in a few minutes why I'm going to do mine the way I'm going to do it. Whatever you choose, you want it to be something that you're going to stick to and that's not overwhelming. So for me, this right here with all these pages would be overwhelming as a journal because all you're doing is you're facing a bunch of blank pages to figure out how to fill them up. And I only am wanting to do this for the month of November to start with because I want to evaluate at the end of the month if it made a difference. If so, what kind of difference did it make? Is this something that I want to continue to do? And is it something that I want to do on a daily basis, a weekly basis? Just maybe on the weekends kind of put something in it. Do I want to do it in the morning? Do I want to do it at night? So, I want to make sure it's going to be something that I'm going to commit to and stick with. So, let's talk about when are you going to take time to do your journaling. Are you going to want to journal every day, every few days, maybe, every other day or something, once on the weekend? I mean, it's up to you. Pick something that you personally will commit to. I don't have the answers for you. I don't know what your life is like. I don't know what your schedule is like. And I don't know what time of the day is best for you. Do you want to do it in the morning? Do you want to do it at night? How long do you want to journal? I kind of recommend about 5 or 10 minutes. Not something that you have to spend, hours journaling, just something quick. But you might want to do 5 or 10 minutes. You might want to do 30 minutes, whatever you want to commit to. And maintain. That is the point, is to maintain it. So to me, I think 30 minutes sounds like a long time for me. So I want something that I can do in 5 or 10 minutes. So I'm thinking about more like making my own cover, altering this to take these pages out. And since it's going to be for the month of November, there are 30 days in November. So I want just enough pages to get me through November. So remember, when we take a piece of paper and we fold it in half, one page counts as 4. I know that's a little bit confusing. So I would only want literally 8 pages in this. And I know that 8 pages would literally make 32 pages, but, you know, I know that I'm probably going to put a pocket here. And what I want to do in mine is maybe list some prompts on the first couple of pages to help me to figure out, you know, what I can journal about. So, I want 30 days worth of pages to write on, so that gives me a couple of pages to write prompts on. So this would be perfect for me, or this would be perfect, or this would be perfect. To me, for my purposes, these would be too big, and so would this, unless I took this down to about, you know, 8 pages, which would be, you know, 4 on this side and 4 on that side. So, you know, you have to decide what is good for you. So that's kind of, you know, where I'm at with that. Now, what time of the day do you want to journal? And, you know, there's advantages to journaling in the morning, and there's advantages to journaling at night. So in the morning, when you journal, you're going to set your mind for a positive track for the day. Okay, so when you start out journaling your thankfulness, your gratitude in the morning, you're setting the tone for your day, which is a very good thing. So, you know, that there's something to be said for journaling first thing in the morning, maybe while you're having your coffee or your juice, you know, just writing down things that you're thankful for. And then the advantages of journaling before you go to bed, you set your mind on good, positive things that you're grateful for, and that sets the tone for your restful sleep, because you're not going to bed thinking about problems and issues. You're thinking about things that you're thankful for. So if you choose to journal in the morning, you know, whether it's 5 or 10 minutes or 30 minutes or whatever, before you go to bed, read that to, again, set your tone for a good, restful night's sleep. If you're going to do it at night, then in the morning while you're having your juice or coffee, just read through it real quickly to set the tone for your day. So that's kind of the purpose in doing these gratitude journals, is changing our mind to think and look for the good and the positive things. Okay, so, and then, you know, we're going to talk about what to write, and we're going to get more into that later, and I'm going to come up with a prompt list for you, and it's going to be posted on the Facebook group, and I'm going to have my Facebook group down in the comments below, and it's really, you know, my Facebook group and y'all's Facebook group. So I want y'all to interact with me. I want you to list, and also in the comment sections here, I want you to put possible prompts, you know, things that would help to make you write. And I'm going to make a list of prompts. Like I said, I want like the first couple of pages to be a list of prompts. It's going to be whatever shifts the way you feel, and taking the list out of your head and putting it down into a positive and believing state. So there's a couple of things, a couple of different ways that you can, you know, write things down. You know, you can write down, you know, 5 things that you're thankful for every day. Well, and that's a great way to start. However, the problem with that is that sometimes you end up writing the same things over and over and over. You know, I'm thankful for the Lord. I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for my home. You know, and then you end up repeating that. Well, we kind of want to get out of the same list of 5 things, and we don't want it to be just a mundane list, you know, list 5 things and just walk away from it. So it would be better to write 1 thing that you're grateful for each day and 5 reasons you're grateful for that thing. So, you know, why are you grateful for the Lord? You know, why are you grateful for your family? Why are you grateful for your home? Why are you grateful for water? You know, why are you grateful for the grass or the trees? You know, why are you grateful? We want to take it out of just the normalcy of things and look at everything as a whole. You know, what would life be like without the things that are surrounding us, things that we take for granted? You know, we need to pay more attention to and be thankful for them, and figure out how life would be without those things. You know, dishwashers, washing machines, you know, things like that. I mean, that we just take for granted that we have in our homes, you know. So we kind of want to look at everything as a whole, and then 5 reasons that we are grateful for it and what life would be like without it. Um, and then once you write down, you know, in your journal what you're grateful for and why you're grateful for it, then think about what you can do today to make either today, if you're journaling in the morning, today great, or if you're doing it at night, what can I do to make tomorrow great? You know, and that way you're on a positive note. Jot those down. You know, jot down ways that you can make today or tomorrow great. And then, you know, you want to write at the very, you know, at the very bottom of your journaling, write down the words now and next. And this will help you from getting overwhelmed. Okay, so what right now, you make a decision on what's in front of you. Just right now, what's in front of you, and then what's your next move. So, you know, that's a good thing. So right now, I am faced with uploading a video. Okay, once I finish this, then I need to upload it. That's what's next. Okay, I mean, that's what I'm working on now. So right now, I'm doing this video, and when I'm done, so now that's what I'm working on. Next, I need to upload it. Okay, once I'm done uploading, I'll say, okay, now it's uploaded. That's what I'm doing now. What am I going to do next? So that way, I'm not looking at the whole day and trying to figure that out. Now, if you have a planner, obviously, and you know, you're working and you have to schedule and all that, then you know that next you go to work, or next you know, do whatever. But right now, I have to get ready for work, or I have to, you know, do whatever. Next, I'm going to be leaving. So we want to be thinking of the next step right now and next, not 10 steps down the road, but the next step. If you have to schedule things, then of course you have to schedule in advance what you're going to be doing, doctor's appointments, you know, kids' practices, things like that. But then you get back into the now and the next, and that helps us to focus more on the positives. So, you know, again, you know, we want to look at some prompts. And, you know, prompts can be something like, you know, something you're looking forward to, or someone you're grateful for, or a life lesson that you've learned. I mean, there's all kind of things. So, like I said, I'm going to, you know, list some prompts over in the Facebook group, and I want y'all to add to those. I think it's going to be beneficial to everybody. As we're making our journals, I want you to upload pictures. If you have Facebook, I want you to, or Instagram, to upload pictures of what you're working on. You know, what kind of pages you're going to use. Are you going to use regular copy paper? Are you going to use notebook paper? Are you going to use coffee dyed paper? You know, are you going to be using a kit of some kind? You know, what kind of cover? Are you going to alter a cover to use? Are you going to make your own cover? You know, I want to see all that, and I want y'all to come up with some great prompts that will help people think of things that to be thankful for, particularly things that we just take for granted and don't think about. You know, and just to change our whole perspective of being out of the negative. So for this week, I want y'all to figure out what you want to use to make your journal with. And, you know, you can go ahead and put it together if you're ready. So, like I said, I want to commit to 1 page each day, because I do want to journal, you know, 5 or 10 minutes each day. Something I'm thankful for, and 5 reasons that I'm thankful for. That's my choice. Now, if you want to list the 5 things, say, I'm going to list 5 things for today that I'm thankful for. You can list those, you know, and walk away, or you can let those get out of your brain and down into you of why you're thankful for them. And that's what's important, is not just making a list, but making the list speak to you, to become a positive thing for you. So just whenever you choose, you know, you may choose, you know, to be thankful for one thing, and 3 reasons. You know, there's no set rules. Nothing is set in stone. But, I want to commit to a page a day, and it may be that I put a pocket on some pages, and then I'm going to write, maybe on another piece of paper to stick in the pocket. It may be that, I just want it kind of decorated up so that it looks nice. But, this is going to be like a little personal kind of journal for me, whatever way I decide to do it, that I'm going to do as a 30-day experiment to see how it changes my life, because I've been told by so many that gratitude journals really, really make a difference in your life. And I think, in the United States, with November being the month of Thanksgiving, that it's appropriate to do a journal for Thanksgiving. So that's what we want to work on this month, is to make our journal. So you may not want to sew your journal in yet, or if you're using a pre-made journal, you may not want to take all your pages apart. You might want to go ahead and say, take the stitches out or take these out, and not decide on your pages until you decide on how many pockets and tucks and things that you're, and tags that you're going to put in there, to kind of see how thick it is before you end up sewing it in. So, that all of that is something to consider when you are getting ready to make your journal. But mainly the thing that I want you to do this week is figure out what medium you want to use. Do you want to alter a book? Do you want to make your own journal cover? What kind of pages do you want to use? Do you want to use the pages that are already in a book and just alter them a little bit? What do you want to do? So this week, I want you to concentrate on that and start thinking about prompts of things, and, putting them on our Facebook group. Also, please, please, please put them in the comments below, because a lot of people don't have Facebook. So I do want as many comments as possible down below about some journaling prompts that we'll be able to use in November. But it's something that they can go ahead and start maybe putting on their list of prompts, that'll be their first page. So please do share that. So start thinking about those things, thinking about ways that you want to do your journal. How do you want pockets? If so, how many pockets do you think you might want? Depending on whether you're using line paper, do you want to plan on putting some images, magazine images or book images, or, maybe something from some, scrapbook paper, or from a kit, or something that you want to cut out and put on there. And maybe you like butterflies and you want to put butterflies all throughout, or maybe you're a bird person and want to put birds throughout, whatever. So start thinking about things that we want to add, because next week we want to start, I'm going to show y'all how to make some various pockets that you can make to put in your journal, to kind of, just jazz it up a little bit, give it a little bit of interest, so you're not just staring at blank pages when you go through it. You have some interest, you have some dimension, and some different textures. So we're going to kind of look at that. You can absolutely use scraps. You can, get out of chipboard. I think it was Pink Eyed Bird used a toothpaste box to make one out of. I would have to go back and revisit that video. It's been a while since I watched it, but I believe that's what she used. So, there's so many things that you can use to make a cover that, will be lasting, but that can be manageable. So if you are a writer and you want to write a lot every day, then, you may want to go with something that has a lot of writing space, even, say one of these composition books that, you can really, really write in and just, fill it up. This would not be for me for a month. I absolutely would not fill this. I wouldn't even fill this a quarter of the way up. Like I said, I want about, 8 pages total, so that, and that's, front and backs, so that would be like 4 on each side of where it's going to be sewn in. So, yeah, I want to, show y'all some different pockets, and then we'll, work on some tucks, and we'll work on some tags and different things to get ready. So every Friday, I'm going to post a video on different things that we can add to our journals, and, I will decide how I'm going to do mine, what I'm going to use for my cover, and then I'll kind of show you where I'm going. Please don't think you have to do what I'm doing. You absolutely don't. I want this to be about you. You do you, whatever is going to work for you. And don't try to get fancy or anything like that, because I want this. If you've never made a gratitude journal, or if you, don't know exactly what we're going to be doing, and we're kind of playing this by ear, then go with something small and simple that you can commit to and maintain. But, that can be a keepsake for you. Whether you enjoy it or not, it can be a keepsake for you that you tried this and it either worked or it didn't work. And if it did work, how did it positively impact you? And that's kind of what I'm going to save whatever cover, my back cover for, is I'm probably going to put a pocket back here with, a tag or a journaling card or something that I can write how mine impacted me, and if it's something that I want to continue to do and maybe on a larger scale. So that's what my goal is for my journal for the month of November. So I want you to kind of decide, how you want to do it. And, let's just enjoy the process together. Tell me what you would like to see as far as, do you want a lot of pockets? Do you want more envelopes? Do you want, tell me what you want. How do you want? Do you want flip outs? Do you want flip ins? I mean, how do you want this to go? Tell me what I can add or show you how to make that you would like to put in your little journal, and we will do that. So I am really, really, really excited about this series, because this month we're going to make our journal. Next month we're actually going to work in it. And while we're working in our journals next month, we're going to start making a journal for December. And I'm not going to tell you what that is just yet. It's really, really exciting. I'm really, really excited about it. And it's going to be something different than gratitude. But if the gratitude works out well, we will add our gratitude to what we're doing then. So, let's see what we're going to do this month. Let's enjoy this process. I'm really super excited about it. I want to welcome my new subscribers. I want to thank all of my other subscribers, that have been with me, whether it's been a day or since the beginning. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you all, and I appreciate you. I'm very, very, very honored to have y'all. And please, if you're visiting and haven't subscribed, please consider hitting that subscribe button. And everybody, please hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a video. Y'all give me a thumbs up, that helps me a lot. It really helps my channel. And if you would, leave me a comment of what you think about this series. And if you think that, the journaling with me on Fridays is going to be something that you would like to do and follow along with. I'm hoping that this will be successful and everybody's going to kind of be interested in trying this. So anyway, I'll look forward to seeing y'all next time. I love each and every one of you so much. I'm hugging your hearts really hard and really tight. Please stay safe during this pandemic. My understanding is our president and first lady were diagnosed with COVID, and that's very, very sad. And so I will be praying for them, and I'm praying for everybody in the world. As a matter of fact, that this whole thing is a little bit scary. No, it's a lot scary. But anyway, we are not going to think on the bad things. We're just going to pray through them and look for the good things. Okay, blessings and hugs to everybody, and until next time, bye.